Hello everyone. Well, it's almost Mother's Day 2018, which is kind of a date that, a lot of people go out looking for morels, although they've been popping up here and there for the past 3 or 4 weeks in Ohio. And I've been paying attention to my local Facebook forum, and it's really just sporadic, it seems. I've talked to a few old people this year, and they say that this spring is the most unnatural spring that has ever been in their entire life. And I can believe it. It's like right now, it's 85 degrees out. I mean, it's hot out, hot. And it's like we kind of skipped over spring. Really went from nights down in the 30s and 40s, and then just shot right up and skipped it almost. And the grass, we can see it's super green and everything. It's plenty of water and everything this year. It's just that the temperature and schedule has been all off of whack. But I haven't found anything else in my rows yet, and it's making me wonder whether maybe I screwed up with my mold issues. Maybe the spring this year is just too screwed up. I don't know. After I get an idea what's going on, I have to correspond with Morel King to see what he thinks. I know his farm fields are just now coming up. His other places came up quicker. So maybe mine will still eventually come up. So, cross my fingers. But anyhow, today what I definitely need to do is some weed whacking around these roads. They're a bit thick, and a couple of these roads have some vegetation in them that I need to weed whack down too. So let's open up a couple of these at least and take a look and maybe come inspect all these roads and see what they look like. At least now I can get some video footage to Morel King too, so he can assess what's going on. So here's the Americana row where I found that one morel that popped up. You can see it on at least the bottom part of it. It's getting pretty heavily covered. Let's see if I can adjust my camera here. He's getting pretty heavily covered with greenery. I'll trim that back. But still, no other signs of mushrooms coming up here, except if I go down over here, or up here rather, I do got a cluster of some foreign mushrooms. Let's see, where are they? Right about there. It's just a regular kind of brown toadstool mushroom, whatever it is. So yeah, definitely the environment is indicative to mushroom growth. And it's hot out here today and windy and dry. And you can see that the area in between the row, like at the bottom, it's pretty dry. And I just watered these 1 day ago. It's so completely saturated. And it's still moist on the inside. But underneath the landscape fabric, it's still pretty, it's really hot underneath the landscape fabric, truly, because it's black. Maybe if I bought green fabric, that'd help a little bit, but I kind of don't think so. But yeah, so nothing else coming up in this row. And you can see it's the same for this back row too. More Americana. A lot of greenery there, but still no action. No action. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, if I put the camera down here. But yeah, it's like I reach and grab some of the dirt. It's saturated, wet, moist. I can ball it up into a mud ball. It's not dripping wet, but it's field capacity wet. So I think my moisture is right. I am wondering if there is a factor of putting these out into areas of the yard where it's windswept. I know Morel King made a comment about his farm area being, since it's out in the middle of a giant field being windswept, that it's having harder times. And it makes me wonder if this is really just not a good idea to do in open areas. If you do it in an open area, it's got to have some sidewalls up or a greenhouse environment to keep the wind down. Because the wind, I mean, if it's just dry out and, you know, slightly windy, even if you water the rows, the wind's gonna take the surface moisture off of it really fast. So, and of course, I'm not doing any kind of upkeep of, you know, additional moisture. I'm just doing the water it until it's soaked and then let it drain 2 days. Seems to be the, you know, the best advice I've got so far. So I'm gonna trim all this up, and then let's go take a look at the rows in the garden and see how they compare. So here's the garden area, and again you can see everywhere between the rows is bare bones dry. And then I even got some cracking on the top of this, even though I watered it a day ago. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe when it gets an unusual spring, you gotta water every day, or every other day. But yeah, I mean, the soil itself is still, you know, pretty moist down underneath of it. And let's see if I take my camera out here. If I walk down the row here, you can see that there's still Ziza growing up. Some apples there you still see. This is the import tuna row, by the way, where I saw the mycelium running in between the apples. You can see it's yeah, it's getting dry on the top. That's not good. It's too damn hot. You can see some more Ziza that are getting kind of dried up now. Now if I go down to my I guess you'd say western end of the garden, like down here it stays completely shaded the entire time pretty much, except for like the early morning. And you see it's a bit more moist here, but still, I still think it has something to do with just the amount of wind, dry wind that comes by here. And again, you can see some more Pazizas growing up there, but no morels. So, yeah. If I had to guess, it's wind and dryness keeping it away. So maybe if it rains a bit more often, cools down again, I can increase the water, maybe something will happen, but I don't know. You know, it's such a touch and go experiment. But I'll get in touch with Morel King, see what he has to say on the matter, and then I'll go from there, guys. Alright, see ya.